Excellency Joseph Newman Boyka Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Excellencies, distinguished heads of government, to the Honorable Jeremiah Cone, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and Mrs. Cone, the Honorable Richard Cone, Speaker of the House of Representatives and members of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Yumli Kanga Lawrence, President pro tempore, and members of the Senate, to her honor, Your Honor, Sianyan Yo, Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, and Associate Justices of the Honorable Supreme Court, to the Honorable Joel Howard Taylor, former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Her Excellency Syria Beslo Yanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Dean of the Cabinet, and members of the Cabinet, Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Fourth Estate, fellow Liberians at home and in the diaspora, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and happy Independence Day. With a heart full of gratitude and humility, I stand before you to express my sincere thanks to you, Mr. President, for the honor of serving as the national orator of our country's 178th Independence Day. This invitation is not only a great personal privilege, but a sacred moment for my family. Like the majority of my fellow Liberians, I come to this platform not as one born in privilege or prestige, but as a son of humble beginnings. I was raised by a courageous single mother who, through sheer determination and faith, shaped the course of my life. I remember selling my mother's bread in the Joe Bar market on the old road. Those early mornings, dusty feet, and long days taught me dignity, perseverance, and service. It was there in Joe Bar market, among everyday Liberians, that I learned the value of hard work, compassion, and community. Values that continue to guide my personal and professional life to this day. For me to be called from those humble beginnings to now stand in this place on this sacred day in our national journey is a testament to the grace of God, the strength of family, and the enduring possibility of Liberia. Thank you, Mr. President, for entrusting me with this great responsibility. I pray that my words may honor our ancestors, inspire our people, and cause us to unity and national renewal. Today, as we mark the 178th anniversary of our beloved republic, we do more than just remember a date in history. We reflect upon a journey of resilience, a story of struggle and triumph, a story of brokenness and healing, of dreams deferred and dreams still alive. We gather under the powerful theme, one people, one destiny, healing the past, building the future. This is not just a slogan, it's a summons, a call to unity, a challenge to confront our past with honesty, and the courage to shape our future with purpose. Today, we stand on sacred ground, ground paid for with the hopes, tears, and blood of generations, ground that has been absorbed both by the cries of the oppressed and the songs of the free. We mark 178 years since a group of our ancestors, dreamers of a daring kind, declared to the world that on this corner of Africa's western shore, liberty would live, that here black people would govern themselves, that here dignity will no longer be borrowed but owned, that here the Lone Star will rise forever. But if we must be honest, Liberia's history, although proud, is also a painful one. Liberia was founded on high ideals of liberty, self-governance, and self-determination. But from the very beginning, those ideals were challenged by human nature, by the deep divides between settlers and the indigenous people who had lived here for centuries. For decades, many of our fellow citizens were marginalized, not because of laziness, not because of ignorance, but because power was concentrated in the hand of a few. Even as we proudly flew our flag and sang our national anthem, many felt like strangers in their own land. Then came the coup of 1980, a moment that many thought would bring change, but which opened the door to years of instability. Then came the Civil War, the death of over 250,000 of our brothers and sisters, the displacement of nearly 1 million, the loss of schools, hospitals, and institutions. Trust shattered, communities divided, children turned into soldiers, entire villages wiped off the map. And yet, here we are, still standing, still believing, still hoping, and still declaring that this land of liberty shall long be ours. Not because we are perfect, and not because we speak good, beautiful English, but because we are resilient and determined. Our journey has not been an easy one. We have faced grave trials, economic collapse, civil conflicts, dictatorships, and disease. Our people have known the pain of war and the toil of poverty. We have buried too many dreams too early. But let it be said, Liberia has never surrendered. Time and time again, our nation has bent but never broken. Our resilience is the heartbeat of who we are. It is seen in the farmer in Foyer using basic tools to farm. The teacher in Ghana who with limited resources is still present and encouraging. The nurse in Plebo who can barely find alcohol but yet is dedicated to the cause of saving lives. To the market women at Painesville Red Light who chase after the truck, throwing their lapas on it just to secure their goods. To the young entrepreneur in Buchanan who's selling gasoline out of a mayonnaise jar. Each day, ordinary Liberians fight against extraordinary odds, not to tear down this nation, but to build it up. And so, my fellow citizens, this Independence Day is not merely a celebration. It's a summons. It's a call to action, a solemn reminder that history is not something we inherit. It is something we are called to shape. It is about commitment, courage, and responsibility. It is by answering the call of destiny and taking our rightful place in building a nation that reflects the dignity, dreams, and potential of all its people. Today, I invite each of you to join hands in the sacred task of nation building, brick by brick, heart by heart, generations by generations, because like we say here in Liberia, one hand cannot pick lice. But before we proceed, allow me to pause and offer our collective heartfelt congratulations to you, Mr. President, on Liberia's historic election to the United Nations Security Council. This, indeed, is a profound testament to your steady leadership and your unwavering commitment to positioning Liberia as a responsible and respected voice on the global stage. Thank you, Mr. President, for restoring Liberia's place among the community of nations. Permit me also to commend you on the strides made in fulfilling the promises outlined in your arrest agenda for national development. From agriculture to roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism, your government has begun to lay a foundation for national transformation. While much remains to be done, progress is being made, and for that we are grateful. In just a few short months, your government has shown that integrity and public service are not relics of the past, but vital tools for national transformation. Permit me to highlight just a few of these areas. On anti-corruption and governance, just yesterday, the signing MOU between the Financial Intelligence Agency and the Anti-Corruption Commission is an indication that you are taking the fight against our #1 enemy, corruption, seriously. On infrastructure development, driving from Monrovia to Zwedru, I have witnessed firsthand a renewed momentum in road rehabilitation, reminding us that inclusion must begin with access. In addition, the performance of the Liberian Electricity Corporation within the last few months signifies to me that with proper leadership, change is possible. On education, increased budget allocations, teacher training programs, the distribution of learning materials to underserved communities, and new investment in childhood education all speak to a government reclaiming education as a national priority. On health and social services, we see growing access to rural clinics, partnerships with international donors, and stronger support for healthcare workers. The emphasis on maternal health is especially commendable because it relates to saving lives. On agriculture rehabilitation, by elevating food security and empowering local farmers, your administration is realigning a long overdue national dialogue. Liberia must feed itself. If we grow what we eat, we will grow the economy from the ground up. The procurement of fire trucks, the purchase of buses for our national transportation system, these are not just promises, my people. They are actions, and we acknowledge and celebrate them. But let us also speak honestly. Challenges remain. The road ahead is long and sometimes uncertain. Yet, this is the work that this generation is called to tackle, and this generation must not grow weary. Now let me speak to some of the ongoing challenges we face together. There is a parable that says, when one enters a village, they should listen to the songs the children sing. For by listening to the songs the children sing, you will hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mr. President, your children are singing. And they're saying that corruption is still deeply embedded in our institutions. And it will take more than policy to uproot it. It will take moral courage and political will from the highest office to the lowest. To the Honorable Speaker and the Honorable President Pro Temp and Her Honor, the fight against corruption is yours as well, and not just the President. The children are singing, and they're saying, Mr. President, unemployment remains dangerously high. We cannot afford to let our people drift into despair, or worse, drift into the hands of those who could possibly exploit their frustration. The people are singing, and they're saying economic inequities is widening. Too many of our people go to bed hungry, while a few grow rich by the minute. We must reimagine a Liberia where opportunity is not reserved for the connected, but for those who are committed. The people are singing, and they're saying that gender inequality continues to rob our nation of its full potential. Women still face systemic barriers, from unequal pay to unsafe public spaces. We must do more to protect them, empower them, and include them. The people are singing, and they're saying that while education has seen some improvement, improvement is not enough. We must push for transformation. The people are saying, Mr. President, like you who walk miles to go to school, children are still walking miles to go to school. They need transformation. The children are singing, and they're saying drug abuse is silently destroying the future of Liberia's youth. Relating to crime, unemployment, and hopelessness, we must act before it is too late. The drug situation in Liberia is more than just a health issue. Mr. President, it is now becoming a national security risk, and we must address it. Fellow citizens, these are not reasons to despair. They are reasons to act. Liberia cannot fulfill its promise until every citizen, from West Point to Soniwe, from Vonjima to Fortsville, has a fair chance to thrive, because the work of building Liberia is not limited to the executive mansion, but involves all of us. But before we race toward nation building, let's talk about where we have been. Our theme, one people, one destiny, healing the past, building the future, invites us to take stock of the pathway where we have traveled. As we reflect on the past, we must acknowledge that for too long, wounds have been left untreated. The wounds of tribalism, the wounds of exclusion, the wounds of economic injustice, and political and gender violence. We must dare to believe that tomorrow can and will be better. By creating the space for reconciliation, dialogue, restorative justice, and for building bridges across our divides. The recent reburial of former President Samuel K. Doe and the memorial service for former President William R. Tolbert Jr. were bold action that signaled the President's commitment to begin a process that was way too long overdue. Then again, on July the 5th, 2025, you, Mr. President, showed exemplary leadership when you offered for the first time in 45 years an apology to the Liberian people for the atrocities and injustices of past years. Mr. President, on behalf of the people of your republic, we accept your apology. Because reconciliation is an ongoing process, and in an effort to build on what you have started, I hereby propose the establishment of a standing National Commission on Reconciliation. This body, nonpartisan or nonpartisans, and inclusive, would be tasked with contributing to the work of national healing from county to county, from village to village, from town to town, talking about historical truth-telling, civic education, and programs that promote social cohesion. But the work of healing, however, is not for government alone. It is the responsibility of each Liberian to lay down hatred, to uproot prejudice, to choose the hard work of peace over the ease of bitterness. It is time for us to confront painful chapters of our history, not with anger, but with resolve. Resolve to build a Liberia where these chapters would never be written again. Now we turn our attention to nation building. Nation building, per definition, is the process of constructing or structuring a national identity using the power and influence of the state. It involves efforts by government or other entities to unite diverse groups within a country, foster a sense of national identity, and build institutions that support functioning, stable, and cohesive society. Now, let me tell you what it is not. Nation building is not a one-day event. It is not just a responsibility of government. It is not a one-man show. It is not the property of any one political party, ethnic group, gender, or generation. It is a collective enterprise, the responsibility of every Liberian in the public and private sector, in the diaspora, in the classrooms, and in the home. Because the future we hope for, a Liberia that is peaceful, prosperous, and just, demands the participation of all Liberians. My people, I am not asking us to do the impossible. Others have gone down this road before, and they have overcome. We can do the same. So in our effort to contribute to nation building, our young people must rise, not just to seek jobs, but to create them. Our leaders must rise, not just to seek power, but to serve with integrity. Our communities must rise, not with violence or division, but with unity and shared purpose. Let us move away from the politics of blame and embrace the politics of building. Let us not only demand change, but let us be committed to be the change that we demand. The Liberian dream must be built by Liberian hands. Yes, we have survived wars. Yes, we have endured economic hardship and political instability. But survival is not enough. It's time to move past the scars of war. Stop using the war as crutches or as an excuse to support your lack of action. The war is over. News flash, fresh off the press. The war is over. Because if we continue to hold on to the past, we stifle the birth of possibilities. Our duty must be about the business of transformation. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President pro tempore, Your Honor the Chief Justice, my fellow Liberians, the future is not a gift wrapped and given to us. It is a responsibility that we must earn. Building that future means embracing a new national covenant. To accomplish this task of national building, I offer 5 pillars for your consideration. Pillar number 1, I call us to reimagine our national identity. Liberia stands at a moment where we must reimagine our future. And that future must begin with a foundation that recognizes all Liberians. Let us together write a new chapter in our national narrative that binds us, not by the division of our past, but by the sheer hope of our collective destiny. Mr. President, with deep respect and a sincere love for our country, I appeal to you, sir, to take a historic and unifying step to appoint a national commission tasked with proposing a new motto for the Republic of Liberia. This request is not made lightly, nor is it new. It has been a call that has echoed for decades among Liberians who yearn for a national identity that is inclusive, representative, and reflective of the values and aspirations of all Liberians. The current national motto, "The love of liberty brought us here," speaks to the legacy of the freed settlers who arrived on our shores in the 19th century. Listen to me. While this history is an inseparable part of our national story, the motto fails to recognize or speak to the lived experience, identity, and heritage of the vast majority of Liberians, the indigenous population whose ancestors were already here. A national motto should be more than a relic of history. It should be a source of shared pride, unity, and vision. Liberia today is a diverse republic made up of many ethnic groups, many different religions and backgrounds, all of whom deserve to see themselves reflected in the words that define our national purpose and spirit. Mr. President, you are uniquely positioned to lead this long overdue change. Your life story, your public service, your presidency symbolizes reconciliation, inclusion, and the healing of historical divides. Appointing a commission inclusive of historians, cultural leaders, linguists, youth representatives, and civil society to engage the public and develop a new motto will be a powerful gesture of unity and progress. Pillar number 2, we must confront economic disparities. In a country as rich in natural resources as ours, why are so many of our people so poor? This is not just an economic issue, it's a moral one. We must focus on economic justice because peace without prosperity is fragile. A hungry child cannot wait for microeconomic policies. A farmer without tools cannot wait for a committee's report. And a mother who cannot afford health care for her child does not need promises. She needs solutions. My fellow citizens, we cannot talk about independence without talking about economics independence. It is time we confront a painful truth. Too much of our economy is owned and controlled by foreign interests. While foreign investment is welcome, it must not be at the expense of our dignity. The soul of our economy must be Liberian. Liberians must be actively involved in owning businesses. Liberians must be positioned to create wealth and not just consume it. To do that, we must nurture and grow a vibrant middle class, one that builds entrepreneurship, skilled labor, professional excellence, and innovation. A strong middle class is the backbone of every stable society. It generates jobs, drives demands, pays taxes, and anchors our democracy. We must support small and medium enterprises. We must make access to credit easy. We must invest in technical and vocational training. We must embrace technology so our youth can compete on the global stage. To my fellow Liberian businesses, when government shall have done that, which I know this government will, we must endeavor to prove that we are trustworthy by honoring our commitments to our lenders and to the people we serve. I therefore offer for your consideration and action several possibilities. Possibility A, enforce the Liberianization policy. Fully enforce the existing Liberianization policy for ensuring that the sectors reserved exclusively for Liberians remain protected and accessible only to Liberian citizens as originally intended. The persistent violation and weak enforcement of this policy have resulted in foreign encroachment, marginalizing Liberian entrepreneurs and undermining local economic growth. The spirit and letter of the Liberianization policy was designed to empower Liberians to play a central role in the national economy by safeguarding key areas of commerce from foreign domination. Government should ensure that the exclusive rights of Liberians in designated sector are respected. No foreign national or entity should be permitted to operate in these protected areas, either directly or through proxies. Either directly or through proxies. Enforcement mechanism must include that anyone found in violation of this policy, be it foreigner or Liberian, must face the full weight of the law. B, mandatory equity participation in foreign investment concessions. I propose that all foreign investment concessions in Liberia be required to allocate a minimum percentage of equity for Liberian investors. Whether individuals, groups, or institutions, this ensures that Liberians share in the ownership, the profit, and the long-term benefits of our natural and economic resources. Such inclusive participation will build indigenous wealth and deepen our national economic sovereignty. 3C, reform of work permit issuance. Work permits for foreign nationals should only be granted when it is clearly demonstrated that no qualified Liberian is available to perform the job. A transparent, merit-based review process should be instituted to ensure this requirement is met, promoting fair labor practices and by prioritizing Liberian employment. Liberia, we must no longer be passive observer of our own economy. We must assert our rightful place at the center of national development. By enforcing the Liberianization policy and ensuring meaningful Liberian participation in all economic activities, we pave the way for a stronger, more inclusive, and self-sustaining economy. If we must think Liberia, if we must love Liberia, if we must build Liberia, then we must prioritize Liberians. Pillar number 3, reclaim education for the good of the public. Education is the cornerstone of any society that seeks to move forward. No nation has ever risen above the quality of its education system. We must, as we have already begun to do, invest in every level of education. That means building more safe and accessible schools, paying and training teachers, modernizing our curriculum to include agriculture, technology, and entrepreneurship, prioritizing vocational and technical education so that every person who leaves school will have employable skills. Our educational system should be structured not only to pass exams, but should be built on character, sharpening the minds and preparing citizens to serve with integrity. We cannot build the future with broken chucks and unpaid teachers. For too long, we have watched our public schools deteriorate while private institutions become the only hope for quality learning. That must and already has begun to change. Every Liberian child deserves a safe classroom space, a teacher who is trained, and a curriculum that prepares them for the global stage. An educated citizenry is Liberia's most powerful defense against poverty, division, and corruption. Pillar 4, end prejudice and division. Too often we speak of unity, but act on travel lines. We must stop asking this silly question, where are you from? And start asking, what can we build together? We must break down the barriers of tribalism, regionalism, and religious suspicion. Let us reject the lie that one group is superior to the other. In the Liberia we are building, your last name should not determine your opportunity. Your skin tone should not determine your treatment. Your gender should not determine your value. And your political party you voted for must not influence your employment. We must uproot prejudice in all its form. Because here's the truth, my friends. We are not Gio, Mano, Pele, Basso, Congo, Vai first. No. We are Liberians first. We may come from different countries, but we share one country, We may have different names, but we share one identity. We may speak different languages, but we share one destiny. Destiny is not a fit, it is a choice. It is the result of intentional action. We share a common destiny. And whether that destiny leads to division or unity, to poverty or prosperity, will depend on the choices we make today. Our destiny will not be determined by what happened 178 years ago. Neither will it be determined on what happened 20 years ago. But what we choose to do today, in this moment, in this hour. So let us choose peace over provocation. Let us choose justice over favoritism. Let us choose patriotism over partisanship. Let us choose each other again and again and again. For by doing so, we celebrate the fact that we are one people, striving and striving for one destiny. Pillar 5, promoting gender equality. Liberia has always shown the world that women can lead. And you have led well. But beyond symbolism, we must ensure that women have equal access to opportunity, education, healthcare, and safety. Promoting gender equality is not a favor to women, but a fundamental human right. The fight against gender-based violence must be relentless. We must protect our daughters from abuse, our mothers and sisters from exclusion, and create spaces where their voices are not only heard, but heeded. The rearing of children is just not the responsibility of our mothers. Fathers must take equal responsibility for caring and supporting the children we gave birth to. Our legal system must support mothers who are struggling because of fathers who are absent and not providing support. There is a law in the books, our domestic relations law on support for dependents. That law, Your Honor, must be enforced. A country that empowers its women is a country that doubles its potential. We now turn our attention to the participants in nation building. 1, the role, let me put my glasses on for this one, the role of political opposition. Democracy is not a spectator sport, nor is it the crowning of any one ruling party. Democracy is the constant exchange of ideas, the clash of visions for the common good. Our opposition parties must be respected, not demonized. They are not the enemy of the state. They are part of the machinery of accountability. A nation where opposition voices are silenced is a nation walking into darkness. Let us not fear disagreement, but let us fear apathy. Let us debate passionately, but respect one another deeply. Liberia needs strong government, but it also needs strong opposition. Together they form the engines that help the ship of democracy go sailing still. Notwithstanding, we call on the political opposition in Liberia to demonstrate leadership, integrity, and a deep commitment to the democratic principles that unite our nation. As critical stakeholders in our political system, the opposition plays a vital role in ensuring accountability, transparency, and inclusiveness. However, with this role comes a profound responsibility to act in ways that preserve our national unity, our fragile peace, and the public trust. In this pivotal time of our country, it is essential that all political actors engage in dialogue, uphold the rule of law, and reject any form of violence, misinformation, and incitement. Constructive criticism and peaceful advocacy are pillars of democracy, but they must be guided by truth, respect for institutions, and a shared vision for a stable and prosperous Liberia. Our dear leaders in opposition, I urge you to prioritize the long-term interests of the Liberian people over short-term political gain. The eyes of the nation and the eye of the world are watching. Let us rise to the occasion and show that Liberia's democracy is not only vibrant, but mature and responsible. Let peace lead. Let dialogue prevail, and let Liberia win. The second actor, the role of the church. The Christian church in Liberia, it is time for a deeper awakening. A revival not just of prayer and worship, but of purpose and responsibility. For too long, poverty has been spiritualized, normalized, and even romanticized within the church. But let it be clear, there is no honor in poverty, and there is nothing righteous about economic suffering when solutions are within your reach. The gospel is not only about salvation, it is also about transformation of lives and community. For scripture says, faith without work is dead. Yet too often, our pulpits echo with calls to prayer without equal calls to action. We cannot keep telling people to fast and pray and wait for their breakthrough and their anointing while doing nothing practical to change their situation. We must stop expecting God to walk on waters. He did it once. He's not doing it again. He told me that just this morning. Get your people to work. Liberia is a nation rich in potential, yet the church is one of the most powerful and trusted institutions in this country. Imagine the impact you would make if you were to leverage that responsibility. Imagine the communities in which you reside. What will happen if you begin to hold classes on some nights and stop having prayer meetings 5 nights a week and use some of those nights to empower your people? What if you taught them financial literacy, how to open a bank account, and stop telling to sow seeds so that you can drive a better car? Mr. President, I'm almost tempted to ask the national legislature to enact a law arresting clergy for manipulating the people they serve. The church must lead the way in breaking the circle of poverty. not by blaming the poor for their condition or pushing them into passivity. All of us want to go to heaven. All of us want to wear a starry crown. All of us want to walk on street paved with gold. But by damn, what's happening down here transform the lives of the people. Three, a call to the diaspora. The Liberian diaspora, estimated at over 500,000 strong, has played a vital role in Liberia's economic resilience, our growth, and our national development. Through consistent remittances to families, friends, and institutions, the diaspora community have done its share. These contributions through institutions, whether it's healthcare or education, has helped to stimulate and sustain our economy. So to you and the diaspora, we need you. Not just your money, but your ideas, your expertise, your networks. Return if you can. Invest if you are able. Speak up. Stay engaged. Your love for Liberia is not less because you live abroad. It is a bridge, not a boundary. Your journey across the seas does not erase your Liberian identity. It expands it. We must continue to embrace the principle that no Liberian is more Liberian than another. I appeal to our government to therefore create bold, intentional frameworks for diaspora investment, ensuring that the inclusion is not just symbolic, but strategic. They must not be seen as outsiders, but as partners in national transformation. Mr. President, you have taken keen interest in developing tangible relationship with the diaspora community. To the extent that you are committed to convene a international diaspora conference this September in the city of Washington, D.C. For that, we are grateful. We also want to extend to you, Mr. President, and the National Legislature, the community of Liberia diaspora extends profound appreciation to you for amending the 1974 Alien and Nationality Law granting dual citizenship. It is a step in the right direction, and we are grateful. We extend appreciation to Mr. Emmanuel Wetty and others, to include the Union of Liberian Association in the Americas, for leading this effort. While this achievement is historic, we believe that dual citizenship for natural-born Liberians and those of Liberian heritage can and must go further. If we truly believe in equality among Liberians, then we must eliminate all restrictions associated with dual citizenship. Every Liberian, regardless of where they live, must be afforded the same rights and opportunities to contribute to the country's development. Liberia's most valuable investment, our young people. We are over 70% a population under 35. This is not a crisis. This is a golden opportunity. But opportunity without investment is wasted potential. We must stop seeing our young people as a problem to be solved and start treating them as partners in national renewal. They are not too young to lead. They are not too young to be innovative. And they are not too young to dream and build what they dream of. Let us open doors, not just for jobs, but for entrepreneurship. Let us fund youth-led enterprises, create innovation hubs, and integrate young voices into policy making. If we gave our young people space to rise, they will help us lift Liberia. They are not the leaders of tomorrow. They are leaders of today. But leadership must be cultivated and not merely declared. Let us not lose this generation to cynicism or despair. Let us empower them with purpose. To our young people, you are who you are. You are the conscience of today. You are more than your struggles. You are more than what society has labeled you. Do not lose hope. Do not give up. Rise, learn, create, organize, lead. We are counting on you, my fellow young people, to build a Liberia that reflects your energy, your creativity, and your vision. We believe in you. To civil servants and law enforcement, serve with honor. You are the face of the nation to the ordinary citizen. Let your integrity be your legacy. Stop treating public office as a private enterprise. Public service is a sacred trust meant to serve the people and not enrich the few. To our business community, you are the engine of innovation. Let us build a private sector that creates jobs, not just profit. That grows communities, not just bank accounts. To you, Mr. President, my 26 is on you. What do I want? I'm glad you asked. Joseph Nima Boyka, a son of humble beginnings. Your leadership, marked by your humility, your character, and commitment, has offered a new tone to our politics. So I encourage you, sir, to lead boldly, to lead transparently, to lead justly. Challenge the old order. Empower the next generation. Fire and don't suspend. Enforce the laws. And surround yourself with people of competence and conscience. Who knows that, like Esther in the biblical narrative, that you have come to this royal position for such a time as this. Uncle Joe, tomorrow is not promised to you. A second term is not guaranteed. Act now. Clean up this mess now. Do it for yourself, but do it for the thousands who stood in the rain to vote for you. Do it for Mayama, who is here with us this morning. Do it for little John, who walked 2 miles this morning to fetch water for his family. Do it for Mazo, who died in childbirth this morning for the lack of proper medical care. Do it for those who are yet unborn, so that when the walk these shows, history will judge you and say, there lies a man called Joseph Yima Boyka, who served his country well. So that is what I want for 26. Be the leader that you believe God called you to be. Now I know everybody's waiting for this one. In conclusion, as we commemorate 170 years of independence. Let this day not pass as a ritual for speeches. Let it be a day of recommitment. Let us renew our pledge, not only to celebrate our past, but to shape our future. Let us be one people, joined together not by convenience, but by covenant. Let us walk together in good times as well as bad, in the rain as well as in the sunshine. Let us hold hands and walk in the valley. Let us hold hands and climb the mountain together toward one destiny. Not a destiny handed to us, but one that we forge together with faith, with courage, and with love for our beloved Liberia. We have seen what this unity can do. Now let us choose what unity can build. Fellow citizens, Liberia cannot move forward if our loyalties lies in self-interest, tribalism, or party politics. We must put country first, above personalities, above politics, above profit. Putting Liberia first means telling the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. It means rejecting corruption, no matter who benefits. It means, Mr. President, demanding results of those who you have put in position of trust. And it means recognizing that the destiny of this country lies not in the hand of a few, but in the hands of all of us. Yes, there will be setbacks, but we are a resilient people. If we can survive years of civil conflicts, we can overcome unemployment. If we can rebuild after Ebola and COVID-19, we can rebuild trust in our systems. If we can celebrate 178 years of sovereignty, then surely we can claim that the next 100 years will be years of growth and greatness. Let this Independence Day mark a turning point, a point where we choose to build and not break, to include and not exclude, to rise and not retreat, to serve and not steal. So let us honor the past, not just with speeches and fanfare, but with purpose and progress. Let us make our independence not just a historical fact, but a living promise. A promise that Liberia will be governed justly. A promise that prosperity will not be the privilege of a few, but the inheritance of all. A promise that Liberia's next 178 years will be defined not by survival, but by success. Let us walk forward together with courage, with character, and with a single unshakable conviction that Liberia must come first, always and for all. May God bless you, and may God bless the Republic of Liberia.